So as you may have noticed, or I may have told you about, last week I broke my arm playing tennis. And actually in the immediate, like seconds afterward, aftermath of that injury, I learned, and I've been learning ever since, a very valuable lesson, which is to stop trying so hard. That sometimes an overabundance of effort can actually get in the way of progress. And so to explain that, first off, let's start with the tennis injury. I was playing tennis and my feet got caught up. I went down hard. It was one of those ones where there was no break in your fall. My feet were like locked up and I just went boom, fell on the arm, broke a little bone in the wrist here. And at first, wasn't really sure what was going on. So I actually tried to finish out the set I was playing with my kid. And, but I could put I couldn't take any impact on the wrist. And it was my service game. So I was serving, and because I couldn't put any like weight on it or take any impact on it, I was just going through the very kind of complicated tennis serving motion where you're trying to get this like kind of whip motion effect and putting no muscle into it. And all of a sudden I was serving just straight down the line, putting them in. Not a lot of power, but just good, decent serves that I was having trouble doing all day long. And that's because, especially in tennis, if you don't play, all the power always comes from the full recoil of your body and the transfer of your weight. Kind of like a boxer, you don't throw a punch like this. The power comes from your body moving and then your weight transferring through. And that's the technically difficult part of hitting people and tennis. And so what most people try and do is they just all arm try and force it through. And I was just kind of shocked to see how well my serve was working when I stopped putting any force behind it, when it was just all technique. And obviously that's what my tennis coach had been trying to teach me for like 2 months, was to stop muscling the ball and just learn the technique and get that part done. And so that's when it dawned on me, like, wow, I just learned something really valuable about, getting my tennis serve a little bit better. And then I came home and started to realize that I wasn't going to be able to do a lot of the things that I'm used to doing with one hand, or one and a half, I guess. These are still useful. And one of the first things that came up was I've been trying to get back into a regular rhythm with my YouTube videos. And that had meant, I had the lighting set up and had a nice camera. But I was really having trouble just sitting down behind it and getting her done. And when I realized that with the broken hand, I was not going to be able to set up the lights. I was not going to be able to even pull out the little SD card from the camera and then put it in the computer and do the editing. So it dawned on me that if I'm going to do any YouTube videos, it's going to be like this, with my phone, conversation, unedited. And that kind of freed me up from all of the, I don't know if my idea is good enough to bring out all the lights and do all this stuff, to just sit down and do it. And these videos are, certainly not what I would consider like super high production value, but it is me just talking to the camera and offering something that I think is cruelly lacking on YouTube, which is non-AI human beings just talking about stuff. I think in the modern world, we are getting more and more isolated from other people. We're turning to YouTube to kind of bridge that isolation. And the problem is that the people on YouTube are getting less and less real, from the plethora of AI content that we've got to even the people that are doing their, talking head videos or conversational videos. They are highly edited, so anytime somebody has to think for a second, that pause gets edited out, and you're just getting this fire hose of conversation or information just coming at you. And less and less, that's less and less what I'm looking for from YouTube. Already shorts are like that, and like I said, so many, even the long form videos are just non-stop coming at you. And really what I'm looking for from YouTube, at least in terms of bridging that that ongoing lack of human interaction, is something that approaches that in feeling, and also just gives my brain or my nervous system that time to kind of and just listen to another person talk about something that maybe I find vaguely interesting, and then come away from that conversation as I would with any conversation with a friend or an acquaintance. Is I've heard somebody else's point of view, and maybe that's something that gets me thinking about something else, or that I want to comment on, or interact with, or just that I'm thinking about later in the day. There are so many videos that I see on YouTube where the second it is over, it has completely left my brain. I could watch YouTube for an hour and I would not be able to tell you more than one or two little quips that came out of it. So anyway, I don't even remember where this video started. Yes, don't try so hard. And that is all the reflections I got from that. Again, breaking my arm has been revelatory in terms of getting me thinking about things in different ways. Before I let you go, I'm just going to make my pitch that if you enjoy these simple human conversations, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. I am authentic, I am unfiltered and unedited, and I'm here every day with this mindless blather. So as ever, thanks for stopping by.